Um, hello, I'm back. Okay. Just give me a moment. I just want to check whether I'm live or not, and we'll be good to go. How are you guys? Uh, okay, okay. So yeah, I'm live. That is good to know. Yeah, let's not waste any time. Okay. Uh, let's move on to the topic because yesterday we wasted quite a bit of time and I was late also. I was starting the stream at uh, 11 a.m. So today I thought why not stream uh, early. So yeah, here I am. Good to know. Okay, let me do one thing. Yeah, let's just go to Brave. And yeah, let me just introduce whoever is new to this YouTube video. Let me give you an intro. I know this is something that I am constantly giving in previous live stream also, but I just wanted to give a introduction to everyone and even a little recap if you forgot what we have discussed previously, so that like every one of us can understand what is this stream about. Okay? Yeah, so let's start. So we are what we were doing. Okay? If you are thinking that this stream is about having uh, someone who is expert in backend and uh, teach you backend, you have misunderstand. Okay? This is not something. I'm not an expert in backend. I'm also the one who is learning, and you can also learn with me to get throughout the process. You can make this habit of having consistent in learning something. And how does someone learn a particular tech stack? I am almost learning this from the scratch. I have done a little bit of work, but was it was not like I understand that. Okay? I'm uh, trying to learn it from the very basic and see how it goes. Okay, till now what whichever topic I have learned, I have implemented them also in my real life. Okay, uh, by real life what does I mean? In some of the repos, I do open source. Okay, so in some of the repo I raise some of the issues regarding how their http is working, or one of the things that I've recently done was to raise a issue. Okay, let me show it to you. What was I able to understand and what was I was talking about. Uh, so I'm just talking about this repo. It was is it this one? Open NV. Okay, it was from this one. Okay, so one of the things that I recently done was to understand this part clearly. Okay, I was uh, able to understand what they are trying to say because they are discussing about how WebSockets are better when it comes to training RL agents. Okay, so they are claiming that they're using HTTP. Okay, and they are comparing the WebSocket with the TCP handshake, which I found a little misleading. Maybe I would not imply that they are trying to mislead, but maybe they just uh, not review it correctly because most of people are not writing their own. README. Maybe this code is written by Claude, so they have written this part like this, okay? And they just compare this part because this HTTP, if they are if they are referring to in today's world, the HTTP 3, which is has remove these drawbacks that they are talking about the TCP. If you are following me in this live stream, you have understand what I'm trying to say, because they are treating as every new connection, every new request to be a new connection or new handshake, which is not the case, because we have QIC, which we have discussed previously. If you are uh, Yeah, so that is what I able to understand. This is how the TCP2 works. This in the TCP2 we use this TCP. Oh, sorry, in the sorry, my bad. I was thinking about HTTP and I'm saying TCP. Sorry, in the HTTP2 we using TCP, but in the HTTP3 we uses QIC, which has uh, almost, I would say. I was not I don't say that they might not have any drawback of QIC. There might be a drawback of QIC also, but they have uh, removed most of the setbacks of TCP. Yeah, so this they are talking about this thing, which is not really the case, and they are trying to see tell us that this is, sorry, they are not trying to say. I'm seeing it in such a way that it is looks like that they are misleading us. But maybe this is the issue of Claude. they have uh, they have created this README through Claude, so maybe the Claude just use the previous data, and I just raised the question about this thing. So yeah, I am trying to learn something. I am trying to implement it in the real life. I'm just asking it politely how, if are they talking about this thing, or is it a comparison between WebSocket and HTTP1 or HTTP2 maybe. So yeah, this is what I was able to do, and even you can also do these things. You can learn from here, or even if you don't want to learn from me, that is totally okay, because I am not expert to this particular domain. But I will encourage you guys also to be stay consistent in this field. Okay? So yeah, let's go to what we have done. I will not repeat the all the things, the basic recap, because I have constantly repeating myself in previous three streams. Okay, see what we have done and what we have done till now. But let's give a very little brief, not to the extent that I am giving previously. Okay? We have learned about the basic concept of internet and how it works, the basic terminologies. Okay, then we go to the how what is HTTP and how is it working, and what is the difference between HTTP2 and HTTP3. We have gone through a very in detail explanation how is it working, and how what are the things that has been improved in HTTP3. Okay, so yeah, that is what we have done till now, and now we are in the third topic, which is what is a domain name. And lastly, I just forgot to tell you that we are following this roadmap. This is a very beautiful roadmap which has made by a developer. Okay, so this is roadmap.sh, where you can track your progress, and they have this beautiful structure of defining a roadmap. Okay, which I also find very uh, beautiful. Okay, and they have also attached some of the free resource, so where you can like read them and understand what's going on. So that is what I'm done till now. I'm just following all these things. Okay, and we have talked on yesterday's stream. If you are not on this stream, yesterday's stream, or you have not watched them, I let me just repeat one particular point. We are not going through the front end basic, because I just hate front end. Okay, I am not a front end guy, and I don't really want it. I have one little knowledge of HTTP and CSS, but I really don't want to dive into it. So if you wanted to learn front end, maybe you can learn it from somewhere else, but we will go definitely going to choose a language. I was doing a little research between which language to choose, and I think I will be choosing Java for the backend, because I think that will be more suitable for me. And if you are someone who is learning Java, you can follow this course to really understand, because I will try to explain how is it working, and we might also follow this roadmap that is also made by them. Okay, to understand how Java works. They have given a little. This is not about, I guess, DSA. Okay, this is more about development. Not It is not about doing DSA in Java, but doing development in Java. So we will learn uh, Java for development. Okay, and if you want to learn uh, C++ for DSA, I will also thinking of starting a separate live stream for doing the C++. Okay, to do C++ also. Let me show you one thing. Okay, what I was thinking of doing. Uh, okay, this was not the thing, but it was definitely in here. Okay, this was the thing, I guess. Yeah. So we might. Okay, why is it hiding? Let me do one thing. Let me transport it to fit this screen size. Okay, it's look good now. Yeah. So what I was thinking of following this catalog that is provided by Codeforces. I'm trying to learn C++ in very in depth, so it might take quite much of time. It might even take 1, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, 6 year. I don't care, but I was thinking of learning it not just for placement, but to really understand what is like happening under the hook, and how is it happening. If something is happening, and how is it happening. Okay, so we might follow this catalog plus the roadmap that are provided by roadmap.sh. I'm just using this roadmap sh like this. People might misunderstand me for promoting it, but I really find it very helpful for me all personally. Okay, uh, you can use it or don't use it, because I am not promoting it. This is not promotional video. Okay, it's up to you, but I find it very useful. Okay, let's just go back to our Java. Okay, this is the thing that we might follow. Let's just see. I hope they also have some project that we can start building. Okay, we can start building some of the basic project at the very least, like task tracker. Okay, this is a very simple project. Then there is Git user activity, which is also a simple project, because I have implemented this Git user activity uh, in my okay, what was it? Yeah, this was the thing. I has included this thing. This is a dynamic thing. Okay, the this is a dynamic thing. How many public record I have, I like it is automatically tracking it or showing it like this. Okay, so Git user activities, you could say this. And I for my uh, for my chatbot, I also use this thing. Okay, so yeah, these are the things that I have implemented. So I am not that much confident, I would say, but yeah, I am uh, a little confident to that I can be able to make this thing. If I am confident in doing this, so can you. Okay, you can also build those things. It is not rocket science. Even rocket science is made by a human being, so you people can also do all these things. Okay, let's just continue where we left off. I will just stop lecturing you guys and start the stream. So we are now do following this thing which is what is a domain name. Okay, so we are chooses to follow this article, okay, which is published by, is it an article? I think they are just, yeah, you can say a article or a blog or whatever you feel like. Okay, let's not go to the term and let's go start it. Okay, what is a domain name? Okay, domain name, if you are not aware about it, we have discussed it uh, in our previous articles also, where we have discussed it in very little. Okay, what is a domain name exactly? Let's say it's google.com. This is a domain name. Then if you can see this, Rahul Samant 37.tech is a domain name. These are all domain names. This cloudflare.com is a domain name. Everything you look in here is a domain name, and you needed to have a domain name so that people can search you instead of uh, having that IP address. People might forgot about a particular IP address. Let's say this is the IP address, or this could be IP address. People might forgot. Okay, people are not someone who remember numbers like this. Okay, so it is more helpful to denote it for with a domain name. Okay, that is what my understanding of domain name is. Okay, so let's read what Cloudflare has written here. Domain name is a string of text that maps an alphabetic IP address, that is what I have said, used to access a website from the client software. Okay. In plain English, a domain name is the text that a user types in a browser window to reach a particular website. Yeah, definitely, because it will be much easier for user to remember those domain names, right? Because people might have not good with numbers, but they at least are good with when it comes to remembering a particular name, okay, rather than a complete IP address, which could be a octa, uh, which could be a octet, you could say, because there are four octet in the particular IP address. Okay, they have like have an article on IP address also. You can see there are like four octet that is being made, that combined makes a IP address. Okay, so let's see. Used to access a website from the client. This we have. For instance, domain name Google is google.com. ठीक है, Google का जो domain name है वो google.com है, as I told you. The actual address of website is complex. ठीक है, yeah, it could be complex and people might not remember it. ठीक है, but thanks to DNS, users are able to enter a human-friendly domain names and be routed to the website they are looking for. Yeah, definitely, this process is known as DNS lookup. Yeah, so this is something which is uh, you have understand. It is a plain English. I don't think so. I have said something different that I need to explain it to you. So yeah, it is just what I said. People have easier remembering a particular name, and they just can do one thing. They can just go to Google and they can just search for that particular name, and the domain name of that website uh, will like show up, and they just give you the URL and you can just go to the website. That's how easier it is. Okay? Instead of just remembering a particular IP address of a particular website that you want to visit, it will be quite confusing. For one two website, you can remember the IP address of particular website, but for hundreds of, let's say, or maybe no, I'm not 100, let's say even for 20 to 30 website, you have to remember the IP address of that website. It will be like too much for you, and it is not a user friendly approach. Okay, so that is why we have this concept of domain names. Who manage domain names? Domain names are all managed by the domain registry, okay, which delegate the reservation of domain name the register. Anyone who wants to create a website can choose a register to register a domain name, and there are currently over 300 million registered domain names. Okay, that is something which is a big number. We are talking about 300 million, which is not something small. Okay. So yeah, one of the example of having registering the domain name or purchasing a domain name is GoDaddy. If you have heard of it, it is a website where you can purchase a particular domain name. I have also purchased my domain name, but it was from maybe dot tech. Yeah, this is where I have purchased my domain name from. So I don't want to show my some of, I might show some of my secret credential. That is why I will not log into this thing. Okay, I'm not sure what will be things I need to not show publicly. So yeah, let's not log in. And this is where I have like purchased my domain name from because it was .tag. And here you can also this is also a good website to purchase a particular domain name. Let's say if I want to buy a per domain name, let's say it was Rahul, SAMANT, Samant, and let's see if .com. Let's see how much price I need to pay for this. Okay, it's quite okay. So the first purchase that I make will be of 1 rupees, one first year only with 3 year terms. Okay, what is this? So yeah, what's it's great. Three is quite three Air is quite cheap. I think I might also buy this after this. Let's see one more thing. How much this cost me? It is also $3, but normally it was somewhere around here. Okay, let's see if am going to buy this or not. Okay, there are some other domain name also which I can buy in lesser price. Okay, this is google.go Rahul Samant 37.co.in, which is 99 rupees, and this is a premium one maybe. Yeah, what is a premium domain? Premium domain are more valuable than this thing. Okay, the 37ms.com, I can buy it for 3000, which is quite much for me at least. I might avoid. Okay, .ai. If I include .ai in Rahul 737, it will goes up to 4716. It is, oh my god, it is too expensive. .net is still cheaper than .org, which is good. Yeah, these are all the things. You purchase a domain name from this website, and you need to just uh, attach the DNS or configure the DNS in here to redirect the domain name to the at the the IP address. The IP address will be given to you by wherever you have hosted your website, or if you have hosted your website in Vercel. Okay, that is also cool. You can just go to Vercel, or from there you can configure your DNS and it will just redirect you, and you just need to confirm from GoDaddy that this is you. Okay, so then it will just configure. Okay, and the domain name that you have purchased from GoDaddy, it will redirect to that Vercel wala thing. Okay, so it was easier. You can search over the internet, and if you want me to make video on this, I can definitely make video. Okay, let's move on. What is the difference between a domain name and having and a URL? ठीक है, तो URL और domain name में क्या फर्क होता है? ठीक है, तो this google.com google.com, this is a domain name, and if you say okay, if you say like this, so this http, this thing fully is a URL. It might include some of other routes also, or maybe a particular ports also. Okay, that whole thing is the URL for you. So let's read. This is my understanding. Let's read what it is actually by the Cloudflare. Okay, Cloudflare, how they define it. Sometimes a URL or uniform resource locator, sometimes called a web address, contain the domain name or of a site as well as other information, including the protocol and the path. For example, in the URL http Cloudflare slash learning. Cloudflare is the domain name. Yeah, that is what I have told you. Google.com is a Google.com is a domain name which is registered by Google. But uh, apart from that, the slash part and the HTTPS, this whole part is called to be a URL. Okay? Uh, while HTTP is the protocol, HTTP, yeah, individually HTTP is a protocol, and slash learning is the path, or you could say route, okay, is the path specific page on the website, okay, that is fine. What are the part of the domain name, okay? So do I need to read it, because I think it is not. It is too simple. Okay, let's just read it one time at the very least. Okay, let's give it some time. Maybe there might be some interesting point. Even if I find some one point interesting, it will be worthwhile. Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. So I was talking about what are the part of the domain name. Domain name are typically broken upon 2 to 3 parts. Okay. Each part each separated by a dot. Okay. When reading go right to left, the identifier in domain name go from go from most general to most specific. This section to the right of the last domain dot in a domain name is top level domain. Okay, what this thing says? This section of the right, okay, right is here. Okay, right of the last dot in the domain name is top level domain. Okay, what is top level domain? Let's read it out. In the DNS hierarchy, a top level domain represents the first stop from after the root zone. Okay, in simpler term, a TLD is everything that follows the final dot of the domain name. For example, in domain name google.com, .com is the TLD, that is understandable. Some other popular TLD includes .org, .uk, .edu, or maybe .in. Okay, this UK is for UK and .in for India. TLD play an important role in DNS lookup process for all the uncached requests. When a user enters a domain name like google.com in their browser window, the DNS resolver start the research of communicating with TLD server. Okay, so there was a particular TLD server which could be an interesting thing. What is the different type of DNS server? Okay, what are the DNS concern resolver? What is the DNS root name server? Okay, what are the? I think this is something which is like more interesting. Maybe I might read this thing. Let's read it out. What are the different type of DNS servers? All the DNS servers falls into four categories: recursive resolver, root name server, TLD server, and authoritative authoritative name server. In the typical DNS lookup, where there is no cache in the play, these four DNS servers work together in harmony to complete the task of delivering the IP address for a specific domain to the client. Okay, delivering the IP address. So this is done by this DNS servers for a specific domain. Okay, to the specific domain to the client. The client is usually stub resolver simpler resolver building in a operating system. Okay, that is understandable. This okay. So DNS server is the one who work together in harmony to complete the task of delivering the IP address to a specific domain, which domain is what? Domain of the client. Okay. So this is how what is the DNS recursive resolver. So what is DNS recursive resolver? I don't know. DNS recursive resolver is looking something like this, which is recursive query, interactive query. Uh, they have explained it, but it was not in the level that I was thinking of. I might also switch to some other article because they are just confusing the other person. They are not explaining in the ways they should have. TLD, okay. I want to read a well doc, documented article, or maybe a documentation, or maybe something that will explain it in detail. That person is quite good at reading article. Maybe he should have switched to writing articles because they have explained it in a way that yeah, I was able to grasp the concept easily. But these people, let's just read. Recursive resolver is the first stop in the DNS query. Okay. Hmm. The recursive resolver acts as a middleman. Hmm. After recursing a DNS query from a web client, a recursive resolver will either respond with the cache's data or send a request to the root number server, followed by another request to TLD name server, then one last request to authoritative name server. After receiving a response from authoritative name server containing the required IP, the recursive resolver then sends a response to this client. Okay, so this DNS resolver is the one who is handling all the things. It is also handling the root server. It is handling the TLD, which is the right part of the last dot in the domain name, and also the example.url. And it was uh, when the like user interacting or like search a particular URL, this DNS server will be the one who is managing all this thing and redirecting it to the exact server or the particular IP, we could say. So yeah, that is what I was able to understand. And there might be a different DNS servers that are in total, I guess, four that are named, okay, or also mentioned in here. Okay, got it. In this case, the TLD is .com. Okay, so it it would be like uh, it would be a TLD name server, right? Or am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong or maybe I'm right. There was four in total, right? Recursive, root name, TLD, or maybe it is TLD. In this case, the TLD is .com. So the resolver will contact to the yeah, okay, it is TLD DNS server, which will then provide the resolver with the IP of google.com origin server. Okay, so it was talking about the IP address of google.com. Okay, the internet corporation of this thing. Okay, we don't need to read any more than this. Okay, we understand what TLD is. Now let's move on to this. These including the generic TLD such as .com, .net, .org, as well as the country specific TLD like .uk or .jp or .in. Okay, IN for the India. To left to TLD in the second level domain. to left to TLD is the second level domain, and if there is anything to the left of the second TLD, it is the third level domain. There, in some cases, there might be a website which will be looking like something like this. Let's say if they are talking about, let's say, how can I explain? Let me search a domain name. Let's say rahul.ai.in. They are talking about something like this, or maybe .com. Let's say .in. Yeah, so .co.in, and there is taken. This website is already been taken. So let's search for some other website which could be CMANT37 maybe. Yeah. So the website could also be look like this, where there will be they will be separated by dot co dot co where was yeah, okay, so it can be look like this: dot co dot in dot ai dot in, maybe dot something else dot in. Okay, so they can be these cases. So in that case, the co part is be in the second level domain, and the Rahul Samant 37 will be the third level domain. So if that were the case, it can be divided into like this, but it is not the case in majority of the time. They are divided into two part only, which is initially the TLD, which is the right part of the last dot, and the left part of the last dot is the second level domain, which is 2LD. Okay, for Google's USC. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me just write some of the definitions, or maybe I can do one thing. At last, I will make the notes by providing it to the chat GPT and let tweak some of the parameters, or ask him to summarize it better. Okay, let's do it to let's do it after we are done reading all this. Uh, okay, for Google US domain name google.com. .com is the TLD, and Google is the 2LD. Okay, but for Google UK domain, which is google.co.uk, as I told you, .uk is the TLD, and the .co is 2LD, and Google is 3LD. Okay. In this case, the 2LD, the 2LD indicates the types of organization that. Okay, you have also heard of this thing. If you are a person who has attended college, so uh, maybe your college has this, just let's say RH Rahul Samant, and whatever it is at the rate, maybe something something Delhi dot edu dot in. So this is the 2LD, or the second domain name, which will indicate which organization it is from. So it is from education department, and the last is for it is from the India. So yeah, that is why dot in. So that is what they are trying to explain in here also. The 2LD indicates the type of organization that registered the domain name. The .co is the UK is the site registered by companies. Okay, so this .co is representing a company, and .edu is representing education. Okay, uh, how to keep a name secure. Okay, once a domain name has been registered with a registrator, uh, here that registrar is in charge of notifying the registrant when their domain name is about to expire, and given them the chance to renew, ensuring they do not lose their domain name. In some cases, registrar will prey on their user expiring domain name by buying those domain names the second they expire, and then sell them back to the original registrar at an extorting price. So yeah, this happens some of the time. People also do something like, let's say, the Geo and the Hotstar. Let's say they are both are good. People might think that they in future they are going to collaborate, which is the case now. So maybe someone in past, maybe in 2 3 year back, might have predicted that Google and Hotstar is going to merge. So they have brought this domain name, let's say Geo Hotstar. So they might have sell this domain name to Geo or Hotstar to a higher value, or extract some money from them. I'm not suggesting this thing. Okay? This happens. This is a real time scenario. You can search it on the Google. Okay? Somebody have done this. That is why I'm giving the example. Okay? I will not encourage anyone to do this. It is important to choose an honest and trustworthy registrar like Cloudflare. Okay, they are promoting it to avoid these kind of predatory practice. Okay, so Cloudflare registrar is something where you can also purchase uh, the domain name. Let's say if I want to purchase uh, Rahul SAM97 3 maybe cloudsalmon.com. Let's say how much is the price. Okay, that is quite high. $10 is not something that I can buy. They are just this. Uh, Dive deeper into the domain names, domain prices. Domain can cost for a few dollars per year to thousands or rare case millions. Uh, dive deeper into the domain names. Domain domain can cost for a few dollars per year to thousands or in rare case millions. Okay, that can be the case because it is. Maybe if I wanted to buy Google.com, let's try to buy. Let's try to see how much Google.com cost. Google.com. Let's see what is the price. Is unavailable, okay, and that is understandable. Let's see. Okay, this website, I think this is making it cheaper. Okay, there are website which is having large value also. This website is of 23 lakhs from web.com. I don't know why this is of 21 lakh, which is of websearch.com, websearches.com, sorry, my bad. So you can see the website can be much more expensive than you initially thought. Okay, so name secure. Okay, even dive into the domain name. It is not a topic which is like uh, which we needed to study in that depth. It is a topic like you can understand just by reading one article also. So yeah, that is why I'm not giving it that much time because I wanted to invest some of my time by understanding some core concept, which is not the case with this thing. This is topic which is important, but not at to the extent that I will going to give that much time to this particular topic. So that is why I'm just, if you have like seen my previous live stream, you might understand that Rahul is skipping some of the topics. That is because I don't really want to invest that much of time in this. Okay? So let's dive deeper into the domain names, domain name price, premium domain name, expired domain name registrar, domain name squatting, domain name privacy, top level domain name, which is we discussed what is top level domain name, how to buy a domain name. I have told you how to transfer a domain name. Okay, so through DNS that can happen after a domain name has been registered. For at least 60 days, it is possible to transfer a domain name from one register to different register. To transfer a domain name, double check contact information. Okay, this is something new. Contact both the old and new registrar, asks for a authentication code, and we remove any domain log. Okay, so you can uh, buy some domain name which is already been sold in the time window of 60 days. Okay, you can contact to their previous or new owner and say that like I wanted this domain name for some purpose, or maybe you can explain it to them that I wanted to this, and you can negotiate the price and you can buy from them in the 60-day window time. ठीक. So yeah, that is all for the domain name, and let me do one thing. Let me just uh, copy it from here and ask ChatGPT, can you make a very short note of this? Don't include unwanted topic. Just just in this. Okay. Give me one two please. Okay, this much information is okay, I guess. Include 2 LD and 3 3DM. Maybe is it DM? Okay, I was not sharing my screen. That is why you people can't be able to see what was I was talking about. But just give me a moment. Okay, it was LD, and about. Okay, this looks like we can add this thing in the notes. Okay, let's make it a little shorter. Okay, okay, was not here. That is looking fine to me. Let me add this thing also. Now let's just set this thing a little above. Okay. So yeah, we understand what is the domain name. So that is almost the bigger picture of what is a domain name, and we don't need it to understand much deeper, I think. How does DNS request work? Let me just read this thing only. Okay, how is it working? As we have already saw, when you wanted to display a web page in your browser, it's easier to type a domain name than IP address. Okay, that is what I have told you at the very start. Typing Mozilla.com in your browser location bar, your browser asks your computer if it already recognizes the IP identifier by this domain name using a domain DNS cache. If it does, the name is translated to IP address and the browser negotiate content with the web server to form a connection. Okay? If your com- computer does not know which IP is behind the Mozilla name, it goes on to ask a DNS server whose job is to precisely to tell your computer which IP address matches each registered domain name. Now that the computer knows the requested IP address, your browser can negotiate content with the web server. Okay. So yeah, that is not something which has been helpful, but I already know these things. So yeah, I think I don't need to explain this thing because it was too simple. I have already explained this thing, what is happening. Okay, so let's skip this thing and mark it as done because we have understand what is a domain name. Let's see what is hosting. There is again two articles that is given. Okay, so both are from Mozilla. Okay, what is the server? Browsing the server. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So they have this whole thing where they have defined how does the internet work, what are the hyperlinks, what is a domain name, what is a URL. Maybe is this their website or maybe they have copied this thing at least from here or maybe take a reference of this thing. I don't know because their concept looks quite alike. Okay, that is why I'm implying maybe they have like taken a reference of Mozilla because we have also attached every documentation say from Mozilla also. This is from Cloudflare. Yeah, this is from Mozilla. What is the HTTP? But we have read a different documentation that was uh, even more in detail. If I can, I would like to read more documentation like this, which I find more comfortable. Okay, but that might be not the case with us for now. Maybe let me search this thing. Okay, we are okay. We are learning what is hosting. Okay, let's search this thing. What is hosting and try to look if there is a definition over this. What is this? 9v2. Okay, there was no such thing as hosting. Let's try to search just hosting. Is this okay? Okay, set up an API using Flask and Google Cloud SQL and API App Engine. Create your free developer blog using Hovo and Firebase. Uh, they don't have the documentation that I am looking for, or the blog, could say. Maybe there might be a blog on Medium. Medium is also something that I like. Now I need to log in. Let's log in. How does it works? Uh, is there a way to verify that this website can be trusted? This is a website which is posted on 2004, I guess. Is it? Where did the website go? Uh, okay, this is a website which was posted in 2024. I just misread it. Yeah, hosting, sharing hosting. That is VPS. That is cloud hosting. That is Linux hosting. So this can be a good topic to read. That is cloud hosting. That is cloud hosting. Web hosting. Let's see if there is a particular article. Uh, uh, let's read from here only. Are we reading it in order or so? This article is what is the difference between web. Okay, we are reading it in order. So let's read first this thing. Okay, then we will go to this. Uh, Browsing the web. By this point in the module, you should have multiple modern web browser installed. Okay, yeah, that is the case with me also. I have like two browsers installed in my local. Okay, I have Brave, I have Chrome. uh, if you also have two browsers, you can comment it down. Okay, naming the browser that you have installed on your computer and other available devices. This article goes deeper into using browsers, looking at how a web browser works, the difference between some of the everyday things you will interact with, and how to search for information. As with any area of knowledge, the web comes with a lot of jargon and terminologies. Don't worry, we would not overwhelm you with all of it upfront. Okay, that is a good thing because I really hate when people are just starting to explain in a difficult terminologies that a beginner can't understand in their blogs because I am reading it as a beginner. Okay, I don't know the terminologies. Let you first introduce some of the basic terminologies. Okay, I can search them also, but that is not how things work. Okay, however, there are some basic terms you need to understand from the beginning since you will be hearing these expressions all the time. We introduce some important terms below. Okay, so some of the important terms are here. Prerequisites, learning outcomes. Okay, is it uh, is it a term that is specific to hosting? I don't think so. Learning outcomes, basic familiarity with your computer operating system. I have a basic familiarity because I have also shifted from Windows to Linux. I have like understand better how the OS is work, how does the OS work, and I was also preparing for GATE CSE. So yeah, that is why I have this understanding of OS. The difference between a web browser and a website and a search engine. Okay, web web browser. I think Brave is a web browser. A website is which we uh, try to search. You could say it as a URL or a domain. Okay, and a search engine. And a search engine is something like Google. Google is a search engine. Brave have their own search engine. Okay, if you can go to setting and here you can see some of the search engines that are listed. Okay, Brave, Google, DuckDuckGo, Qwant, Bing. Even Microsoft also, they have their own search engine. I think Bing is the one. I don't know. Bing is Microsoft search uh, engine. Okay, yeah. Bing is a web search engine developed or owned, operated by Microsoft. I am right. Okay. How a web browser works at a basic level. I have a basic understanding of how the web browser works today, not to the extent that how are they managing these all sessions. Okay, I have a basic understanding, not to the extent of having calling myself advanced uh, person to know of how the browser works. Okay, searching for informations. Okay, we search for information quite easily in Google because they have indexes their data, and they have created this algorithm that user can have easier searching the database. So yeah, the difference between web page, website, web server, and search engine. Okay, they are trying to explain us what is the difference. Let's look on the theory. Although I have a little understanding of how what they are, okay, but I still am curious of the authentic definition. Okay, we will start by describing various web-related concepts: web page, website, web server, and the server engine. These terms are often confused by newcomers to the web or incorrectly used. Let's start. Uh, s- let's make sure you know what they are meant, what they each mean. Let's start some definition. Web page, a documentation that can be displayed in web browser. Okay. So this uh, okay. So this thing that you can see, okay. If I am I allowed to do this or not? Okay. It is not responding. I don't know why. Is it responding in this page? That is responding in this page, but not in to that one. I don't know why is the case. So why did I download it if it is not going to respond in any page that I want it to? Let's leave it. Okay. So this thing that you can look if you are following my cursor, the page that you are looking in your screen from here to here, in this is a web page. Okay. And a website is a site. This thing is a website. Okay. And a web server is a computer that hosts a website on the internet. Okay. This is a virtual computer, you could say, or a virtual OS, which is hosting a website over the internet. Okay. A web service, a software that responds to response, uh, a software that responds to request over the internet to perform a function or provide data. A web service is typically backed by a web server, and many may provide web pages for users to interact with. Many websites are also web servers. Oh, sorry, many websites are also web services, though some websites contains of static content only. Example web servers would be something that resize image, provides a weather report, or handle user login. So they are trying to say, okay, what is a web service? So web services is something that a software that responds to request. Let's say you sending a request to a particular web server or software, and they are performing a particular function, and they are responding you back about whatever need you have. Let's say if you are using something like google.com and you are trying to search something and you have sent us particular request, okay, to the google.com and they just respond. So that is the response or the service is called web service. That particular web that provides you, okay, Google provides you a search thing, search wala part. Some other website will provide some other thing, okay. It's depend on the uh, website that you are using. Many website also provide some of the web services. Okay? Many of the website directly provide you a web service rather than the fully end-to-end application. Let's say Google, Amazon, you can do many things. There are many such UI that you can see where you can interact with it and it will be a different web services, or I could say there could be a different web services in a particular web page. Okay, and there could be a case where a single page contains only a single type of web services, which could be google.com, where you can search of something. Okay, that is a single type wala thing, you could say. In a simpler language, it might not be the case, because there are some other services also, because there is a mic wala part where you can speak something. This is also a web service, and where you can upload your images to query about it. There is this also. Okay, so there are some other services, but a simple example would be, I would say, uh, this website where you can just upload a GPNG and it will just convert you into the PDF. Okay, so this is a simple example of having a single type of web service in a single web page. Search engine, a web service that help you. So yeah, search engine is also kind of web service. Okay, it is a subdomain, or you could say it is a subset of web services that helps you find other web pages such as Google, Bing, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo. Search engine are normally accessed through web browser. Okay, you normally access the web. Just a minute, okay? Just a minute, I will be back. I have something. So there are search engine that you can, or web service that is also kind of web service. Okay. Search engine are normally accessed through a web browser. Okay. So normally you access a search engine through a web browser. So here I have a default search engine of Google. Okay. I You can change your default search engine by going settings to come up here is search the search engine, and you can change the search engine. But I find Google to be more indexed, or giving a correct giving a correct response, or the response that I wanted to search for. Okay, so yeah, that is why I use Google as the search engine. Though web page, okay. So yeah, that is where. let's look at the analogy. A public library, this is what you would generally do when visiting a library. Find a search index and look for the title. Yeah, so this is the case. uh, this is the case for this is the case for the Google. So Google have designed their database in such a way that they have organized or they have indexes their overall data, so that, like, let's say if you are a school student, you all have gone to school, okay? If you wanted a particular person and you have organized the whole school in such a way, in playground or maybe in the class, okay? So if you know that person is from 8th class and it's his roll number is this, you can just go to 8th class. Or maybe if people are organized in ground while having their assembly, okay, so you can just go to this section of 8th class and ask this roll number is this, okay? Let's suppose if it is a roll number of 21, say 8th class 21, you go to this line of where the 8th class stands, and then just ask for who is 21 roll number, and that people will, you can easily find them, rather than if all the people just or unorganizedly stand somewhere and you ask for who is A class roll number 21, and you are just trying to find, you are going to every person, are you are you in 8th class, is your roll number 21, okay? So it is better to have things organized. That is uh, also done by Google and many other firm after them, okay? So finding a search index and looking for the title of the book you want, even, yeah, that is a better example. Also, there is also a better example of having a library. So in library, I don't know if your library has been properly indexed or not, but in our libraries, there is this concept where the librarian has organized all the cell in properly manner, where the first cell was of computer science. All the books that are put in there was of computer science, and the second cell was of mathematics, and like this there was of ECE, electrical, and then some of the wasteful branches like civil, that is not needed. So let's just ignore that part. Making a note of catalog number of books, so that is like being organized. That, let's say, in this cell there are these numbers of books, or maybe for computer science there are these number of books, that is be said to be well maintained, okay? That is said to be well maintained, and go to the particular section and containing the book, finding the right catalog number. So yeah, there is also a concept of this thing, catalog in book, uh, in library maybe. So they just I don't know, they will they have a strip where there is written some of the informations, okay? That is how they organize things by, uh, you could say, a IP address of the that book in a simpler language, so that, like, they can organize things in proper manner and you can find it more easily. So yeah, that is what a catalog is, you could say, in simple term, okay? uh, where was I? It was not okay. This was the thing. Yeah. Let's compare a public library with the web. Okay. The library is like a web server. Okay. The overall library is like a web server. It has several sections, which is similar to the web server hosting multiple websites. So just like the books, there are multiple hosting over the internet. Okay. There are multiple websites over the internet. Okay. The different sections in the library are like websites. Okay, so they just like different section. Website could be of uh, different kind. Let's say it could be of education, which was the case. I have previously explained in the domain name how is things divided into TLD and 2LD and 3LD. And if there is the case where website are divided into three parts, which is 3LD, 2LD, and TLD. The 2LD defines which organization or which firm it is from. It could be of a company, it could be of from education. Let's say that edtech in a URL from your college ID is defining that this particular website or this particular email is of edtech. Okay, that is how things are managed. Okay, the book in each sections are web pages. When one website may have several web pages. For example, the science section will have books on heat, sound, thermodynamics, human biology. Yeah. So even in tech, there are different films. Different universities. There could be a university like, let's suppose I will take my own college name, which is PEC. So there could be different universities in particular of that uh, tech. Okay, so yeah, that is what it is trying to say. The search indexes is like search engine. Okay, the search indexes, just like in library, is like search engine. Through these search indexes that are present in, let's suppose, in the library, there are this concept of catalog. uh, that is how they have indexed the library, and that the similar concept is used uh, in a search engine. All the websites, all the data was being indexed. Okay, and through that indexing we can search a particular website, search a particular uh, something, anything over the internet. And that is how we do things in a particular library. Also, we give a particular number to a particular book so that we can easily able to index it, and later we can access it. Okay. uh, each book has its own unique location in the library, or you could say also a unique number that many library follows. Okay, they give a particular number and they just attached it with it. Okay, to access it. Okay, which is specific by catalog number. Okay, so yeah, this is what this is what I'm trying to say. It could be the book can have their own catalog number by which they are indexing it over in the library. Let's now take our time to look at each terms in little more detail. Okay. Let's read what is a web page. Okay, I think this thing we have get the understanding. I don't think so. We needed to learn it in this detail because it is a simple concept as the name suggests. Okay, so the web page, I already explained you what is a web page. I also explain you what is a website. I also explain you what is a web server. I have also explained you what is a search engine. Okay, and what are different type of search engines. Just a few examples are also described there, which is Google, Bing. Google is developed by Google. Bing is developed by Microsoft. Yanda, I don't know. DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo is also a very famous search engine. So yeah, how the web works. Okay, so let's just skip till here because I have already told you what are these things in a brief manner. I don't want to go in depth in that part because we might not able to finish this thing. I just want to read things that are related to core or that I find which is be useful for me in future. Okay, if you want to read, you can follow this website and go read yourself also. Okay, if you really want to read it or you have interest of understanding it from the very basic. ठीक है. How does the web works? ठीक है, the basic. In many part of the world, the web has become just as essential a tool to our everyday lives as cutlery, bicycle, car, or toothbrush. If that sounds unrealistic to you, just think about how often you use a website, mobile phone, mobile phone app these days. So yeah, this is a very important part. Okay, this is a very important part of the world because every day you will have, if you have a phone, you might have access a particular website or maybe a different website or a single website daily. Okay, if you have a phone with you. Okay, so it is a major part of the world that people uses. Even if you are not trying to if you are not typing a web address into a web uh, browser to access a content, yeah, people just search a particular web domain name, yeah, the 2LD or 3LD. Okay, not not even not writing the full URL. People don't write from HTTPS this thing. That is what he is trying to say, and then write this thing like people don't search this way. People search it like Rahul Samant or maybe Google. People like write it like this. Okay, that is what it is trying to say. Just a moment, right? Just a moment. Uh, hello, hello, hello. Yeah, I was doing something. Okay, there was a person today also. What is his name? Nandini Priya. Okay, hello Nandini. Uh, so yeah, let's move on to the topic. Okay, where was I? Try using a web search to trying using a search engine to find. Okay, we were somewhere here. In part of the world, the web have become just essentially a tool to our everyday lives as cult. Okay, so this is the part that we have already read. Let's move on to the next part. When you access the web, quite a lot of quite a lot happens between your interaction. Okay, whenever you try to access a particular web or website, okay, there is quite much that happen in the background. Okay, it is not just simple that you type a particular URL or particular website name and that is just going to connect to the website. There are, as we have discussed in this particular article also, there are quite a very much of things that is happening. Okay, the DNS is connecting the domain name to the IP address, and there are two, three more things that are happening. Okay, and how is HTTP working? I have already told you. So yeah, there are so many things that is happening. Okay, when you try to connect a particular web or a web server. So yeah, the okay, into the web and press enter and the result your action to bring you. Okay, the web browser requests the resources. Okay, the web browser that you are using is requesting the resources you want to access from the web server. It is stored on. Okay, such requests are made using a technology called HTTP. Okay, we have discussed this thing, which uses a language of verbs to describe what should happen. Okay, so there are two, three things in the REST API you could say, or in the REST API you could say, or in the uh, HTTP. There are in particular to the REST there are two three things that is happening. Okay, they have described around four of the web operation that you can perform that are being uh, get, post, delete, and there is one more thing I forgot. What was that? Let me search. Get, post, delete, and there what? Okay, the put option. So yeah, these are all the things that is happening in HTTP, or in particular to performing a COD operation, you could say, or in the REST API. Okay, so with GET you can access up already existing data or retrieve a data. Okay, you could say. With post you can send the data to the server to create something, okay, to create a new resource or to create a new ID, okay, in a particular website. Or with delete you can remove a particular things. Let's suppose if you are feeling a little low and you want to delete your in Instagram that you usually have done, okay, you might have done, you might not have done it, you have deactivated at the very least. So yeah, when you try to uh, not use Instagram, and you wanted it to delete your data from Instagram, you just uh, go to help section maybe, and there from there you are trying to search for delete your ID, and they just delete your data. Okay, so that is the option that you have as a user. Okay, so there is one more option which is update. Let's suppose you already have some of the informations, okay, with you, uh, which is not described here. I don't know why. Which should be post also. Maybe I have not written post. That is why they are not given you me the response, because this is Gemini only, and it is giving me the result of only what I have searched, not the full response that he or she should have given. Let's let me. Okay, there we have also Stack Overflow, right? Did you have heard of this thing? If you have, you are a true developer. Okay, this is something that people uses, even though nowadays it is people are saying it is totally dead after the chat gpt comes, but previously before the chat gpt, okay, this is a famous website. Whenever a developer have a issue or comes to an error, they are searching to resolve it in this Stack Overflow, and this is a website that from where the ChatGPT have initially taken their data from to provide solutions to us regarding coding, especially. Okay, so yeah, this is a very beautiful website. I really respect this website. We might also search some of the concept from here if we want to study. Let's see. That is something in the future. Module, yeah, this, yeah, as you can see, get the object, put is modify that object. Let's suppose you wanted to modify your user id, you want to modify your password. Okay, so that is operation which is a put verb. Okay, in term of RESTful API or HTTP. Okay, HTTP connection. Okay, so this is what happening behind the scene. Let's read. Okay. If the request is successful, the web server sends a HTTP response back to the web browser, okay, containing the requested response. So, if you can do one thing, this is a GET request that I have sent it to this particular URL, and let me see over the internet what is happening. Okay, what is really happening? This is a GET request that is being executed, and it is showing me. Okay, it is a post. Where is the main browsing? Okay, yeah, you can see to browser this thing. Okay, this to get this content, to get this particular content, I am sending a GET request. Okay, you can see it here also, and there are different other things also. They have, this is also a GET request. There is one thing, this which is a post request. They are modifying something, maybe my cache or something. Yeah, we will be learning these things also. Okay, what are these things uh, in the near future? Okay, let's not dive into this for now. Okay, let's go to where we were talking about what are the basic of these things. I think we can okay, let's not. Okay, these are some information that we don't need it, I think, but still we will just read them out at least for once. Okay, let's take it slow. Let's not hurry. I know I am going too slow. but I'm trying to reduce my dopamine level, and I know I am also getting this. Let's just skip this topic. Let's just skip. This thought is just coming again and again and again in my mind, but I'm just restricting that urge of skipping that particular topic, and I'm just reading it at the very least, so that even though it is not helpful for me in shorter run, because I'm just missing out most of the thing, and I'm not uh, learning it in shorter time. But what it is helping me for is uh, so this is a learning curve. So let's say this is a learning curve. Let's say if you first learn something, you understand 100%, but in the given time, you forgot about it in 3 days. But if you revise, okay, if you revise it in the first, let's say you started it here, then you revise it to the next day, it will remain in your memory till 7 days, and then you revise it into the third day. It will remain it in your memory much longer time. So yeah, that is why I'm taking it quite slow, so that let's suppose if you are watching my stream at daily basis, I would highly suggest don't finish a particular stream at one day. Okay, even though it might reduces my watch time, but I don't care. Okay, you can do one thing. You can just take one day time, so that when you come next day, okay, and you try to recall the previous topic, you will try to revise that particular topic, okay, and that will trigger this learning color curve wala thing, and you will retain that particular part to longer run, okay. Don't try to finish. Let's suppose if you are watching a 10-hour video, don't say that I have 10 hour in a particular day, so I will finish it by today. That is not how things work. Uh, the more early you learn it, the more early you will forget about it, okay. So yeah, just try to break it down. Let's suppose you trying to finish that video in 10 days that time frame, watching one day each. Okay. Then whenever you go, like finish 1 hour, you come next day for the next 1 hour. You will try to recall the previous topics, and that will start will be difficult, and you might think that I am forgetting about a particular topic, or let's not read it because I have to revise, but just bear with it. You will be retaining that particular thing for much longer time. I will highly suggest this thing. Okay. So yeah, let's continue. In some cases, the request source will fire off more HTTP requests, while which will result in more response. For example, when a website is loaded, initially the main HTTP file of the site homepage is requested. When that file is received by the browser, it will start to parse it and will probably find instruction to make more requests. As discussed above, these might be the file to embed, such as image and style. So yeah, let's suppose when I try to search a particular website, what what happens? Okay, initially what happens? The HTML of that particular website gets loaded, but there are other component in that particular website. That this is kind of the HTML of this particular website, but there are other thing apart from the initial HTML, which are like this image. Let's suppose this is an image, right? Okay, or this is an image. It is not allowing me to. Uh, I also forgot where did they store it, but it should be somewhere here. No, it should not be here at least. Where was it? It was should be here. Static component. My mouse is happening to. Yeah. So there are some other components also, which is like this. Okay, for a different this like this image, like this image, or like this image. Okay, there are different images that are has been loaded after the HTML. Okay, so the first the initially the HTML gets loaded, and as discussed, uh, mainly the HTML side here. Okay, and when the file is being received by the browser, it will start to phrase. Okay, let's suppose it required this image. Okay, you can understand. Okay, I have to go to this image to display it into the web browser. Okay, so it will go to that particular image and it will fetch and store it locally, and then it is going to show it to you. Okay, uh, yeah. I'm just talking about the static image. Okay, in this part, I just want to clarify this thing. Okay. This describe of how the web works on the heavily simplify, but it is all you really needed to know at this point. You will find a more detailed account of how web request renders by a web browser in our web standard module slightly later on. Okay, so this is about searching for the AI. You can use Stack Overflow that they have also suggested, and I will also highly suggest to use Stack Overflow. Okay, and you can also use AI. Okay, I also use AI for summarizing a particular thing, or let's suppose if I wanted it to in the term in a much simpler manner, I just go to I just copy the whole thing and go to the AI and ask him to summarize or tell me in a easier way. And these are the things that you can also implement in your daily learning. Okay, a cautious tool. AI can do so much that you may start to wonder why you needed to learn the coding. This is a myth. Okay, people will say that AI is going to take your job. I don't think so. AI is developed till now at the very least, until unless the AGI comes. Okay, AI is not developed at to the extent where it will like able to learn the code, and even for their training purposes they require higher experienced people who can code and generate those codes so that AI can understand. So I can't it's just a stupid statement to say that AI is going to take your job. I don't think so, because it's just a bullshit. But wait, the following is important. You still need to understand what you are trying to do at a higher level, what the code is doing, where each piece of code needed to use. Okay, if you don't, okay, I am also not against about AI. Just want to clarify. Okay, before I go further, I am a person who also use AI in their daily learning purpose, but I am against those guys who is just making other people believe that you if you are not learning AI you will the AI is going to take your job. You don't need to learn coding. AI is going to take your job in the near future. The people here, this is just bullshit. These things are just always happens because they are you people just need to understand all the people that say these things are either the entrepreneurs that are trying to promote their own product by just creating this FOMO that if you are not using AI, you will be left behind, or AI is just going to take your job. Just use AI. Because what they are doing, they are just trying to sell their courses or maybe sell their products. Let's suppose I am talking about the NVIDIA. They are trying to increase the customer in AI so that they can also benefit because AI needed GPUs, the CPUs to run over. Okay, so yeah, just don't believe on those people. Okay, okay. AI prompting and EO when you are learning and spending time to solve the problem yourself before searching for the answer, whether you are using AI or conventional search engine, it will make you a better developer. Okay, but I just I am partially with this statement. Okay, I am not saying that this statement is fully true because what happened after the AI comes, okay? people are not even searching something. Okay, let's suppose uh, if I'm trying to look for what is let's suppose if I'm trying to search what what is HTTP. Okay, I'm just trying to search this. Let's say if I'm trying, so it is just giving me a response that is like not even in that detail. Okay, it is just giving me, it is put in the all things in the plate and asking me to just eat from this only. But let's say if I'm trying to learn it by myself over the internet, together there are these different concept that I go to the, let's suppose I don't understand what is glory, I try to search it. Okay, I okay, this is glory, and then there are some other new terms that I will look into. Okay, so then I will just search. But if uh, we search that in the AI, the AI will just give you a concise response that people are not even uh, people are not that hard working we could say, और people मतलब वो चाहते ही नहीं है कि मतलब वो कहीं और चीजें देखें. ठीक है, एआई ने दे दिया कि हाँ ठीक है इतना दे दिया तो हमको बस इतना ही पढ़ना है. बट अगर आप नेट पे जाके देखते हो वो चीजें, ठीक है, तो आप अगर एक चीज देखते हो आपको दो चीजें 10 चीजें और दिखती हैं उस चीज के रिगार्डिंग में, देन यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट, यू मेक दिस अंडरस्टैंडिंग. ठीक है कि ये चीज ऐसे वर्क करती है एक्चुअल में. ठीक है, बट चैट जीपीटी में तो आजकल इवन मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल डोंट इवन look a simple error. ठीक है, simple errors के लिए they are doing chat gpt even for there was this tweet over the internet that कि one day there was the chat gpt goes down, and that day there was a tweet about I was not able to respond to hello to a particular person because chat gpt is down, how I'm going to respond. Because this is true, people are not at that extent, not the hello part, but yeah, people are using it at to the extent that even for the simple things, let's suppose if we are trying to have a conversation with other people, they are doing chat gpt for that. This is just stupid, I feel. uh, let's not criticize them, and let's move on. Okay, so we have learned these things. Okay, I don't think so we search tips. Okay, let's just look this thing only. Okay, because I also wanted to understand. You should include the language you are using in the search term as shown in the example. If you are typing in how to print out the Fabiano series, okay, you would likely end up several solutions in Python, C++, yeah, that is true. If you are trying to search about a particular language, let's suppose if I wanted to search about Unicode, I can write it in Unicode in Java. So it is a concept of Java, or maybe a ASCII value. So in CPP, so it is going to give me the more better response if rather than if I just search for ASCII value, it will give me a generic response which is really detailed like this. But if I wanted a more specific answer, I can just include those part in the search. That will be more helpful. Okay. When you find a useful answer, bookmark or make a copy of it somewhere. Okay, I also do this a lot. Whenever I find some website or I find some resource useful, I just bookmark it. Okay, to even I might have bookmark roadmap.sh. Yeah, I have bookmarked this website also. I find whatever I find useful, I just bookmark it for me to even reference it later. Okay. Yeah. When you find, okay, if your code is returning a specific error message, try entering the error in the search engine or a AI prompt. Yeah, you can look the error in the search engine. I have not done it. I will be true with you. Okay, I have not given given the error to the search engine. People have done this in uh, 2000, before 2021, before the chat gpt comes, because nowadays people always use AI for that to debug a particular error. Okay. I am also curious to how they search wala part thing works. So maybe we can do one thing when we try to learn Java or we have some error, we can try to search this over the internet. Okay. Other people will probably have already tackled the same error in the past and recorded solution publicly somewhere. So yeah, that is happens. That happens. Okay. People have even ChatGPT is able to answer for that particular solution because someone has solved that particular error and has posted it somewhere, or maybe they have directly taken the training data with the help of something particular. Let's suppose it could be a GitHub Copilot, because there is a terms and condition. If you use it GitHub Copilot to debugging a particular error, they use their data to train their own model. So yeah, that is where the things comes up. If possible, stick with the recommendation site like MDM. I have not heard of this thing. Let me search MDM web documentation. Okay, is this good? I don't know. Okay, this is a Mozilla. They're just promoting, I think. I don't know. I can look. Let's. We can also look for Stack Overflow, which I will be using for in future. Okay, and there are different posts also. I am very curious to. Let me do one thing. Let me bookmark this website also, because I have not bookmarked it. Okay, and yeah, let's use this website for our future debugging purposes. Did I just close that website? No, I not right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There are many advanced search techniques you can use in search engine that will give you better result than just typing a plain search term. Okay. If I'm going to use search engine as a debugging tool, let me have a knowledge of this. Typing in plain search terms such as and fish cheese will return that contain any combination of these words. However, most search supports variations of following syntax pattern. Typing in double quotes with the quotes, okay, will only result that okay, I uses this thing. Okay, so whenever I am trying to search for, let's suppose if I am searching for you don't no, let's say uh, let's say let me do one thing. Let me go over the Udemy and find the particular course. Let's suppose this is the course. Okay. And if I try to search this course over the internet, at the very start it is going to give me this thing, which is a very good thing for, because it is indexed. Google has given me a better response, but they have also given me response like this. Okay, where there is even AWS. Okay, even okay, this is also this thing. Okay, or let me search one other thing. Let's say suppose I just wanted to search Rahul Samant code forces. Okay, so it is giving me not the code forces but Rahul Samant, wherever the Rahul Samant is written. Okay, Goldgate score Rahul Samant. Okay, uh, byte stream. What is it? Uh, so there is a Rahul Samant here also, I think. Rahul, okay, okay. The Samant is in different part and Rahul is in different part, but it has given me a response like this also. Okay, and there is Rahul is written differently and Samant is written differently. But let's suppose if I wanted it to have a concise response where these are written in in this order, but in the order I have given it. So let's try to search it. So it will giving me that there is no response like this. Let's suppose, let's say if I wanted to search them, Rahul is written together and code forces can be written differently. So yeah, it can be like written here like this also. Okay. So yeah, that is how it works. Okay. Ant cheese minus fish will return result that contain ant and cheese but not fish. Okay. So if I wanted to exclude a particular thing, I can also exclude it like this. Okay. Or ant or cheese will return. If I write or in capital letter, okay, will return result with one term or the other. मतलब it could be a case that there could be one term also, or it could be both. Okay. Here how the OR works. It's that simple. Okay. And if we have put on this thing, will return the result that have cheese in the main title of the page. Okay. If we write in title like this, wherever the cheese is written as the main title on the page, it will going to return me there. Okay. Let's do one thing. Let's try to search it by in title. Round. Let's try to search SMNT. Okay, there are websites. So yeah, Rahul is written in the title in here also. Yeah, this is good. Okay. Yeah, so these are some useful hacks that you can use. Okay. There are many other techniques you can use in various different search engine. Try seeing it what you can find. Some more useful resources are Refine Google Search. Okay. I can use this thing because I mostly use as Google Search. Let's remove it. Let's do it in progress because we have doing progress. Advanced search, advanced search images. You can filter out it. There are some other hacks also. Excluding a word, we can use this dash before that. Then we can use it like this for end title or maybe the site. Okay. Yeah. So that is all for this thing. Let's read this. Is it larger? Okay. We are going to finish this thing. What is hosting? Then we are going to get to next topic, which is DNS and how it works. I'm also curious how is it redirecting to this, but we have a little bit of idea how is it working because we have seen it in the hosting uh, how is it redirecting. Okay, there are four type of different servers that are redirecting it. Okay, and the DNS thing wala is managing it. Okay, and so we will see this in detail in here. There are two three articles. Okay. Okay, this particular website is also good for these things. Okay, it is a good website, but because I have also used it previously, so I know it is a good website. Let me bookmark this website. Okay, you can we can read it from any of the we will use that website, I think, which was I think this one. Yeah, we will be reading it with this website. This is a good website. Yeah, PNS Basic, your personal AI tutor. Okay, it is a AI tutor. Okay, we can use this thing also for us to understand, because I think it is giving me in detail. I can understand because it is giving me these thing also, which I have not expected it to give. We can use this thing also here to understand what DNS is, because I wanted to understand what DNS is. Hosting is a good topic, but it is not a topic which I really wanted to understand it in that detail. Because we have read one article, I think that should be more than enough. Or should I read this thing? Let's mark it done. Okay, we understand overall uh, what is hosting. I am really curious about how DNS works. We will be discussing this tomorrow. This is all for today at the very least. Okay, we will be discussing DNS. How is it working? Okay. Oh, okay. I think that is all for today. Okay. Let's meet tomorrow at the same time. Yeah, we have 2 hours of stream today. That is great, I think, because at max I have done 3 hour stream, but that was not continuous because I am taking much more breaks in that stream, so it was piled up to be around 3 hours. But that is fine. I might remove the part where I was mute from the stream, but let's see. Okay, it was nice talking with you guys. Okay, if you like this stream and if you find the stream useful, okay, make sure you like this video and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel in future. Okay, I will be making uh, content uh, around AI also, and I will be making videos apart from doing live stream like this. And I'm also thinking of doing a stream of C++. So yeah, that is all for today. Goodbye. Good night.